You've heard of Augustus Caesar, you've heard of his armies, his conquests, his glory. But there was a man standing directly behind the throne, invisible, untitled, and more powerful than any general. His name was Maecenas, and history almost erased him completely. The man without a title. Gaius Maecenas was born into an ancient Etruscan noble family. He had wealth, connections, and access, but he made one unusual choice. He never sought official power. No Senate seat, no military rank, no crown. While other men fought for titles, Maecenas understood something they didn't. The man who controls the story controls everything. He became Augustus's most trusted advisor before Augustus even had an empire to rule. Building the machine. When Augustus came to power, Rome was exhausted. Decades of civil war had left people broken and suspicious. They needed to believe in something. Maecenas gave them that belief. He identified Rome's greatest literary minds, Virgil, Horace, Propertius, and brought them under his wing. He housed them, fed them, protected them. In return, they wrote, and what they wrote was carefully designed. Virgil's Aeneid didn't just tell Rome's origin story, it positioned Augustus as the destined ruler chosen by the gods themselves. Horace's poems made Roman life feel noble and worth protecting. Every word, every verse, every story pointed back to one man, Augustus. The art of the invisible war. But Maecenas wasn't just a patron of the arts. He was Rome's first intelligence operator. When whispers of conspiracy reached his ears, he didn't send soldiers, he sent invitations. Potential enemies were brought into his circle, wined, dined, flattered, and carefully observed. Some were turned into allies, others were neutralized so smoothly they never even realized it had happened. There was no blood on his hands, no public executions, no dramatic confrontations, just quiet surgical control. One historian described his method simply: he made powerful men feel important enough to be loyal and afraid enough to stay that way. The cost of the shadow. For 2 decades, Maecenas was the empire's invisible spine, but shadows have a cost. As Augustus's power solidified, he needed Maecenas less. The relationship cooled. Some historians believe Augustus grew suspicious of the very man who had made him untouchable. Maecenas spent his final years increasingly distant from the emperor he had built. No title, no monument, no triumph parade. He died in 8 BC, leaving behind his entire estate to Augustus, even at the end, loyal to the man who had forgotten him. Agrippa gave Augustus his victories. Maecenas gave him his legacy. One man built the empire in blood, the other built it in belief. And when the empire needed to choose which weapon was more powerful, it chose the pen every single time. The armies are gone, the battles are forgotten. But the story Maecenas wrote, of a divinely chosen emperor, of a golden age, of Rome eternal, that story survived for 2,000 years. Agrippa won the wars. Maecenas won history itself. Who do you think was the real power behind Rome? Drop your answer below, and if you want to know what happened to the other shadows behind history's greatest empires, subscribe. The next one is even darker.